Dear students in grade 9, good afternoon and welcome to our English seminar for today. Dear, this is Umayma Sharba, Senior Supervisor in the Ministry of Education. I and my colleagues are going to talk about Unit 4 in your books. So let me welcome my colleagues, Ms. Ruba Hafiz, an English teacher from Tartus Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Ruba.
Good afternoon, Ms. Umayma.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks.
And Ms. Basima Al-Kilesli, an English teacher from Damascus Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Basima.
Good afternoon, Ms. Umayma, and thank you very much for inviting us to participate in this seminar.
Thank you very much. You know, dear, that we are not going to talk about the exam and the question. We are going to talk about Unit 4 for grade 9 for our students. So, dear students, if you have any question related to Unit 4 or to any other question in the book, please don't hesitate and call us. We are ready to answer all your questions. So in order to start talking about Unit 4 in your students, you know that there are many skills, right? So you have to study, you have to speak about many things, you have to listen to conversation between people and try to answer some questions about it. You are going to write, you are going to study about grammar, right? We are going to tell you about grammar, and you need also to write a paragraph. Don't forget, the skill of writing is very important. You need to write and use many skills. You should be careful to use all the skills, the speaking, listening, reading, and writing. You know that in Unit 4 we have to talk about transportation. Now, what's about transportation? What does it mean? So, to transport, how do you go to school? I know that, dear student, you go to school, right? Every day, every morning you go to school. How do you go to school? What transport do you use? So, in order to encourage you to speak, look at this picture. We have a picture here and try to answer these questions. This skill is for speaking. You need to answer these questions and speak. So let's help you, follow us to help you answer these questions, okay? And then compare between our answers and yours. Ready? Okay, so for the first question, let me ask dear colleagues here in the studio. They will help you answer these questions. Now, what form of transport do you usually use? What form of transport do you usually use? Yes, dear?
In fact, when I go to school, I use a bus, but if, for example, I'm late, of course I take a taxi.
Of course, so you usually go by bus. You use the bus as a form of transportation. Sometimes you use a taxi, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you like the transport system in your country?
Yes, of course, because it can help people to move from one place to another safely.
Right.
And it's not very expensive here in Syria, so it's a good transport system.
So we like the transportation system in our city, even if our cities are crowded and you know, we have a traffic jam, but the transportation system in Syria is very wonderful because it helps people go to move between places, you know,
Excellent.
And to move to work, to school, to their jobs. Right,
And
thank you.
it's not expensive.
And they are not
That's very
expensive.
important.
Yes, you are right. Thank you very much. Now, how does transportation affect tourism? So first of all, let's talk about tourism. What do you mean by tourism? Okay, some students ask, what do you mean by this word, the word tourism?
Tourism means when someone comes to another country, for example, to sightseeing or to visit some...
To visit the country.
Yeah.
They come from abroad, from nearby countries in order to visit our country because it's very beautiful. Okay, so those tourism, how does transportation affect tourism?
Of course, transportation price affect tourism so much. We mustn't forget that transport modes are very important to facilitate the movement of tourists.
Right, thank you.
To reach their destinations.
Very nice. So it affects them in a very good way because they simplify the movement. They can move freely from one place to another. They guide their movement in the country. Now, do you think that driveless car. What do you mean by driveless cars, right? We always accustomed to cars with drivers, right? But the driveless car, do you think that they will make journeys quicker?
Yes, driverless cars, it means cars without drivers.
Yes.
It will make journeys quicker because maybe it will reduce the traffic jams in our country, and maybe it will work efficiently without wasting time or energy.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Without wasting time and energy. Well, we notice this is for the skill of speaking. Students should discuss these questions and answer freely according to their own points of view. So now let's move to the text itself. You know that the text tells us about autonomous vehicles. What do you mean by this? And let's cover the text, please, and answer many questions in order to clarify the points in the book, the reading text. Okay? Now, what are some benefits? First of all, what do you mean by autonomous vehicles? Then, what are the benefits of them?
Autonomous vehicles are driverless vehicles. It means that the vehicles that have no drivers, they will drive themselves. The cars will drive themselves. I think that they will be better because they are safer and more efficient or more effective than those that we have been using nowadays.
You are right. Thank you very much. So, let's talk about the disadvantage as we are talking about driverless cars, right? So, you know that some people agree with this idea, some people disagree, and there are some advantages whereas there are some other disadvantages. So, what are the disadvantages to start talking about them? What are the disadvantages of the driverless cars?
There are many disadvantages of driverless cars because driverless cars will increase unemployment, so thousands of drivers will lose their jobs. Also, companies and governments will lose money from insurance, from parking, from speeding fines and petrol taxes. So there are many disadvantages for these driverless cars.
Thank you very much. So, as you said, Ms. Ruba, thank you, that increase in employment, because there are many people who are employed to drive cars, maybe in companies or in different kinds of job. So the disadvantage, they lose their job, and there are many other things. We have the insurance companies. When, you know, insurance companies get money from people when they drive cars, so they will lose, there will be lack of money. So many other disadvantages. Would you like to talk? How may autonomous vehicles cause social chaos?
They may cause social chaos through unemployment, financial loss, and lack of planning.
You are right, thank you. So social chaos, financial loss, and lack of planning. Thank you very much. Now, would you like to have an autonomous car?
Yes, for me,
you would?
I like to.
Why?
Because maybe it will work efficiently, it will work without wasting time and money, and it will be quicker and safer.
Well, thank you very much. Quicker and safer. Now, we heard about the long-term planning. Some countries may have used or have done the long-term planning. What do you mean by this, and what are these countries? Yes, please.
Only some American cities have done long-term planning, while others haven't thought about that before.
Only some American cities, you mean? Thank you very much. Have long-term planning, which this is according to technology. Well, so it's an idea, and as you said, some people agree with it, some people don't. Well, here we have this text which talk about this, and there are some vocabs. Let's talk about and explain some vocabs that may seem new for our students. Okay, let's start, please.
Yes, the first word that we have for today is efficient. Efficient means working well without wasting time or energy.
Excellent. So, efficient means working well without wasting time or energy. What else?
The second one is the word allow, and it means to let someone or to let somebody do something.
Yes, of
or
course.
to permit him to do it.
So if you look at the picture, you can see the body language. When you allow someone to do something, it means to let him do something or to permit. Thank you very much. What else?
The next one is delivery. It's the act of bringing goods, letters, etc. to a particular person or a place.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So delivery, as you see, so it's an act. It's an act of bringing goods, letters, etc. To a particular person or a place. What else?
The next one is insurance. Insurance means protection against future loss.
Excellent, thank you. So insurance means protection against future loss, and you can see there are many things related to it. We have the security, the courage, the help, protection, confidence, and safety. So insurance means protection against future loss. Thank you. What else?
Also, we have fine. It's money that you have to pay as a punishment.
So the fine is money you have, or someone has to pay for as a punishment. So a fine, when someone is punished, he should pay a fine. Well, according to the crime that he committed. Yes. Well, another.
An official is a person who is in position of authority.
Excellent, thank you. An official is a person. He is a person who is in position of authority. Thank you very much. Else?
Now the next one, which is chaos. It's total lack of order or mess.
You can see the picture is very clear. Look at the total lack of order and the mess. Well, this is chaos. Thank you very much. Else?
Financial means related to money.
Financial, something it's related to money. Thank you very much. Now we have to do an exercise in order to help our students understand the text, okay? So students should choose. We have multiple choice. We have 4 choices, and the student should choose the correct answer, which give the meaning to the sentence should be meaningful when he choose the right answer. So let's do it and choose the correct answer from A, B, C, and D. Yes, please?
Yes. Number 1, some people think that autonomous vehicles will be dangerous, waste a lot of efforts, be safe, increase pollution. Of course, autonomous vehicles will be safe.
Excellent, thank you very much. Well, we have some people think that autonomous vehicle will, of course, be safe. Thank you. Next.
Driverless cars will increase A. Pollution, air pollution, unemployment, accidents, or drivers' incomes. Of course, the correct answer is B. Driverless cars will increase unemployment.
Well, driverless cars will increase unemployment.
Because
of course,
a lot of drivers will lose their jobs.
Yes, so they will stay without job. And employment means that someone who is who doesn't work or he is not working. So driverless cars will increase unemployment. Thank you. Next.
The next one, if driverless vehicles are permitted to take over the roads, a lot of drivers will lose their jobs, or will have more work, or will be injured in accidents, or will have much more money. Of course, a lot of drivers will lose their jobs.
Yeah, thank you very much. So if driverless vehicles are permitted to take over the roads, a lot of drivers will lose their jobs. Thank you. Next.
With autonomous vehicles, we will have political problems, social problems, no problems, or educational problems. Of course, the correct answer is social problems.
Thank you.
We know that autonomous vehicles will increase the unemployment because drivers will lose their jobs.
That's
so
right.
this will lead to social disorder or social chaos, which means social problems.
Which lead to social problems. Thank you very much. And this is, of course, according to the text and according to the fact of unemploying such drivers. Thank you. Les?
About of insurance companies' income comes from car insurance. Quarter, all, half, 2/3. Of course, about half of insurance companies' income comes from car insurance.
Thank you. So we have four options: the quarter, all, half, and two-third. We say about half of the insurance company's income comes from car insurance. Yes, half. You notice this? Next, please.
Okay. We'll lose much money from parking, speeding fines, and petrol taxes. Of course, governments will lose much money from parking, speeding fines, and petrol taxes.
Of course, governments will lose money from parking, speeding fines, and petrol taxes. Thank you. Next, please.
Petrol taxes will increase or will be lost or will be taken by governments or will double because of autonomous vehicles. Of course, petrol taxes will be lost because of autonomous vehicles.
So because of autonomous vehicles, petrol taxes will be lost. Thank you very much. Next.
Here we have to choose between true or false. Governments around the world are thinking carefully about dramatic changes. Of course, it's false. Only some American cities are planning or
have long-term
planning.
That's right.
For that.
So governments around the world are thinking carefully about dramatic change. So not governments around the world. It's false sentence because, as we said, and as the text mentioned, only some American cities.
Yes.
That's right. You are correct. Thank you. Well, next, please.
By 2030. Government officials would worry about short-term planning, or autonomous cars could arrive, or autonomous cars couldn't be used, or some American cities will have long-term planning. Of course, by 2030, autonomous cars could arrive.
Yes, autonomous cars could arrive. So we are expecting this in the future.
Yes.
When we talk about future, 2030, it means the future. And by 2030, autonomous car could be or could arrive. Right, thank you. Next.
It's thought that if autonomous vehicles took over the roads too quickly, they will be useful for societies, they will increase the unemployment, they won't be useful for societies, they will have financial benefits. Of course, the correct answer is they won't be useful for societies.
Thank you very much. So it's thought that if autonomous vehicles took over the roads too quickly, they won't be useful for societies, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Next.
Financial loss, unemployment loss, and lack of planning may cause social disorder, social aid, social disadvantages, and social media. Of course, the correct answer is social disorder or social chaos, because there are a lot of problems of these autonomous vehicles.
You are correct. Thank you. So financial loss, unemployment loss, and lack of planning may cause social disorder. You are correct. Now, to talk about vocabularies, let's do this exercise in order to clarify and talk about vocabularies, okay? To fill in the spaces as usual, to multiple choice according to the suitable vocab, okay? Yes, would you please start?
Okay, do you have on your house and its contents insurance, mistakes, incomes, or long term? Do you have insurance, of course, on your house and its contents?
Of course. So do you have insurance? We don't hear. Do you have mistakes? Do you have incomes? Do you have long term? Do you have insurance on your house and its contents? Thank you. Next, please.
Okay, number 2, the effects of smoking are serious. The beneficial or fine, good, or long term. Of course, the long term effects of smoking are serious.
Thank you very much.
Because maybe it causes a lot of diseases.
Thank you. So here we have the long-term effect of smoking. So this is a device for heavy smokers who the long-term smoking effect, and maybe really dangerous, serious and dangerous. Thank you. Next.
He was for parking on the wrong side of the street, allowed, encouraged, fined, or praised. Of course, he has done something illegal, so he has to pay a fine.
Yes, he was fined. He
So
was
he was
fined.
fined.
Is it allowed to park on the wrong side of the street?
Of
Is
course
it allowed?
not. No,
It's
it's
not
not
allowed,
allowed.
and it's
Well,
illegal.
it would cause a lot of problem, okay?
Yes.
So he was fined. He should be fined for parking on the wrong side of the street. Thank you very much. Next, please.
They are working together to the whole society, allow, fine, benefit, or stay. Of course, they are working together to benefit the whole society.
You're right. They are working together to benefit the whole society. You're right. Thank you very much. Next, please.
My parents wouldn't me to go abroad. Allow, fine, keep, or stay. My parents won't allow, wouldn't permit me to do
Excellent.
something or to go abroad.
Very nice. You noticed here that first of all we gave the definition of these vocabs. We clarify, we talked about them and give them meanings. Now we are using them in the sentences to help our dear students to use them in sentences. Okay? Thank you very much. So my parents wouldn't allow me to go abroad. Next, please.
She took on extra work to increase her poverty, income, long-term, or sadness. Of course, she took on extra work to increase her income.
Of course, to increase the income, not the poverty, not the long term, not the sadness, to increase income. Extra work increases income. Thank you very much. Now, let's talk about grammar, dear. We have talked about vocabularies and we answered many questions about the text itself, the reading text. Now let's talk about grammar. You know that in this unit we will talk about determiners. What are determiners? What are they? You know that there are different kinds of determiners. So what are they? And let's speak about each kind and give our students examples about them in order to help them how to use them. And then after talking about determiners, we will use them in sentences to make the idea very clear. Okay? So determiners. What do you mean by this?
A determiner is a word that modifies, describes, or introduces a noun.
Excellent. So the determiner is a word. Determiners are words. They modify, they describe, they introduce a noun. So they are before the noun. They are used before the noun in order to define, introduce, or to describe it. Okay? So what can we say about determiners? Where can we use them? How do we use them? Yes, please.
Determiners can be used to clarify what a noun refers to.
Yes.
For example, your car or this mobile, etc.
Etc. So clarify what a noun refers to. Your is a determiner. We
Yes.
will talk about its kind now, later on.
Okay.
This is a determiner, this. So this mobile, we notice that we use it before the noun mobile. Mobile is a noun.
Yes.
This is a determiner. Well, the car is a noun. Your is a determiner, right?
Yes.
What else?
The second usage is that to indicate quantity or number. For example, 4 books, a little sugar. This means showing how much of something there is or how many.
You are right, thank you. So, to indicate quantity or number. Quantity, 4, 2, 3. We use them before the nouns to indicate quantities. We say a little. We say a little sugar, a few, a little, many, much. We will talk about them now. Yes, what else, please?
Determiners are often considered essential to the sentences that they are part of, and they cannot be removed.
Yes, they are essential to the sentences they are part of. We can't move them because they describe, they modify, they introduce the noun. So we can't use this noun without them. Now let's talk about their kinds, okay? We know we have different kinds of determiners. Let's talk about them and give examples talking about their kinds. So what are the types?
We will start with articles. We have the indefinite article or the definite article the and the indefinite articles a and an.
Yes, that's it. The first type or the first kind of determiners are the articles. The articles, we have two kinds. The definite article, which is the, and the indefinite articles, We have a and an. What else?
Also, we have the demonstrative, which are this, that, these, and those.
Of course, thank you. So we have demonstrative, another kind of determiners. And we have this and that. We will talk about them, which ones are the singular and which are the plural, okay, or used with the plural. So here just we are talking about the types. This, that, these, and those. What else?
Then we will talk about possessive adjectives.
Yes.
My, your, his, her, its, our, and their.
Yes, and I hope that all the students know about them and they know how to use them before the noun. The possessive, my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. What else?
Also, we have quantifiers. We have with countable or uncountable nouns, we use some or any. With countable nouns, we have many and a few.
Yes.
With uncountable nouns, we use much and a little.
Thank you very much. So we have here the quantifiers. We have the countable nouns. What are the countable nouns? What's the difference between the countable nouns and uncountable nouns? We say that with countable nouns we use some and any. We use them with countable and uncountable.
Yes.
We use some words with the countable nouns. We use some other words with uncountable nouns. So first, before talking about this, what's the difference between countable nouns and uncountable nouns?
Countable nouns are those that we can count with numbers. For example, we can say 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, etc.
Right.
Uncountable nouns are those that we can't count. For example, we can say we have some sugar.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use numbers with the word sugar, for example, because it's uncountable.
You're right. So there are different options for the uncountable nouns. So the countable nouns are the nouns which can be used in plural. For example, a pen, 1 pen, we have two pens. So
Yes.
they are
It's
countable now
countable.
because we can count, we can count them,
Yes.
we can use them in the plural. While the uncountable noun are the nouns which are not counted, they are not used in plurals, and I think all the liquids, when we say water, you know,
All the liquids
they
are
are
uncountable
uncountable.
noun, yes.
Words like information, words like traffic, these words are uncountable. For example, the metals,
Yes.
all are uncountable nouns. So we have many uncountable nouns students should know and differentiate between the countable and the uncountable in order to choose the right choice, because some words are used, although we say that some and any are used with both, but some words are used with countable nouns and other words are used with uncountable nouns, right?
Yes.
Now, thank you. Very clear ideas. Now let's start with the indefinite articles a and an. Let's talk about them. Yes, please.
Now they are used in front of singular countable nouns. A is used with a noun that starts with a consonant sounds. For example, a car, a book, a girl, and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
While an is used with a noun that starts with a vowel sound. For example, we have an apple, an ant, and an umbrella.
Excellent, thank you. So the a and an, we have students should know when the noun starts with a vowel or it starts with a consonant.
Consonant, yes.
When the noun starts with a vowel, and what are the vowels? You know,
Yes.
there are 5 vowels.
5 vowels.
What
A,
are they? A,
E, I, O, and
O,
U.
and U. So these 5 vowels, when a noun starts with one of them, we put the indefinite article an. We say an apple, okay? An umbrella. But when a noun, all the consonants are
Yes.
the consonants preceded by a. We use a with singular before the nouns, the singular nouns which start with the consonant. Thank you very much. Now, what else?
May I add something?
Yes, of course.
Of course, when we have a noun phrase, we decide to use the article according to the pronunciation of the word that follows.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I say they have a big house,
Mm-hmm.
here we have the noun phrase a big house.
Yes.
Okay, the first word, which is the adjective, starts with a consonant, which is the B sound. So we have to use a big house.
Right.
While, for example, if I say I saw an interesting film,
Good.
an interesting film is the noun phrase. Interesting starts with a vowel. So we have to use an before the noun
adjective.
phrase.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Basima, for this addition. And many people ask this question when we have one noun or when we have a phrase, a phrasal noun. When we have two words, we look at the first word, and according to it, the first noun or the adjective or whatever, according to it, we add the article, whether it's definite or indefinite article. Now, the usage of indefinite article a and an. Yes, please. Yes, please.
We use a or an to refer to a general or unspecific noun. For example, my friend has a problem, or Salma ate an apple. Of course, here a problem, we have a consonant letter, so we have to put a, while in apple we have a vowel, so we have to add an.
Very nice. So we use a and an to refer to a general or any specific noun. A problem. Give me a book. Give me a book. Give me a pen. Anything. Any specific. That's right. Thank you. What else?
Yes,
Now
but-
we will move to
To
talk about
definite.
the definite article the. The definite article the is used in front of countable and uncountable nouns. So it doesn't matter if we have a countable noun or uncountable. It means that it comes with, for example, singular, plural, or uncountable.
Yes.
If you are, of course, if we are talking about specific things.
You are right. Thank you. So the definite article there is used in front of the countable and uncountable nouns.
Yes.
According to definition. So the use of definite article there, please.
We use the definite article da to describe someone or something specific. For example, the elephant which we saw yesterday was large. We talk about specific thing, which
Yes.
is the elephant which we saw yesterday. The man who is standing there is my neighbor.
Right.
Also here we talk about specific thing.
Thank you very much. What else?
It is also used before nouns that are mentioned previously. For example, I went to a cafe. The cafe was wonderful. Here, when we repeated the word cafe, we have to use the.
Yes, of course, because they are mentioned previously. So
Yes.
when we mention the word for the first time,
We
or
use
the
a
noun, we
or
use
an, for
a
example.
because indefinite.
Yes.
Give me a pen, as I used the example before. Give me a pen. Well, then
pen.
when I talk about it, say, give me the pen that you gave me yesterday. Give me the blue one.
Yes.
So I use the definite article there. Thank you very much.
We have another example. When I came here, I saw a man. The man was wearing a silver suit.
Excellent. When I came here, I saw a man. So here we use the indefinite article a man. I saw a man. Any man. The man, now I'm talking about him because it was mentioned previously. Well, the man was wearing silver suit. That's right. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about another kind of determiners. We have the possessive adjectives. What about them?
They are used to show position or ownership of something. Possessive adjectives are my, his, her, its, their, our, and your.
Right. You
For
are right.
example, I have a shirt. My shirt is blue. So this is the possessive adjective. They
Right.
have a house. Their house is big. He sat quietly at his desk. Autonomous vehicles will change our life for the better. So all of
Excellent.
them are possessive adjective.
Thank you.
Can I
Thank-
add something?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Some students get confused when they want to use possessive adjectives because they think that they are similar to possessive pronouns. In fact, possessive adjectives differ grammatically from possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns, we mean mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. Possessive pronouns can stand alone in the sentence rather than modifying nouns. For example, this laptop isn't yours.
Of course. Very good. Very
Here
good.
we don't have a pronoun. We don't have a noun after yours.
You are correct. So we differentiate between the possessive pronouns and adjectives. When we say adjective, they are adjective. They come
Yes.
before the noun in order to
describe
describe
it.
it.
Yes.
Okay. So when we say your book, your car, your house, her book, her school, their school, their bag, her bag. Well, but when we talk about possessive pronouns, as you said, they stand alone, something which belongs to, well, it's mine. This laptop is mine. This pen is mine, okay? This is my pen. Now, when I say my pen, this is possessive adjectives. My is a possessive adjective which come before the noun. This is my pen, okay? And this pen is mine. Very nice for this. Thank you. Well, let's also talk about it. We have talked about possessive adjectives. Now let's talk about demonstratives. Yes, please.
They are words that tell who or what you are talking about. Demonstrative pronouns are this, that, those, and these. This points to a singular object that is near to you. This is Selma's book, and this is my laptop.
Very nice. Thank you.
While
So,
these,
yes, sorry, complete, please.
while these point to plural objects that are near to you. For example, these cameras are brand new. While the second example, these laptops are ours.
Very nice. Thank you. So we notice, now we talk about them. This refers to singular, singular. So it points to a singular object, okay? This is Selma's book. This is my laptop. Well, while these refers or points to plural objects. These are, okay? These cameras are brand new. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about them.
The demonstrative pronouns that and those.
Yes.
That points to a singular object that is far from you. That book isn't mine, and that vase will fill off the table. Yes.
Those points to plural objects that are far from you. For example, those are my books.
Excellent. So you notice here when we talk about that and those, they point to singular objects that are far. When we talked about this and these, they were near us.
Yeah. Yes.
But to talk about things which are far, now we have the singular. That points to the singular object. Those point to plural object,
yes.
as you said, and thank you very much. Now we will talk about, as we talked about them, we have the quantifiers.
Yes.
Now let's talk about them.
Quantifiers are used with countable and uncountable nouns. They include some, any, many, a few, much, and a little.
Very nice. Right.
We use the quantifiers when we want to give information about the quantity of something, how much or how many.
Yes.
For example, some is used in affirmative sentences. We saw some lions at the zoo. Some people attended the party.
Very nice. So quantifiers are used with countable and uncountable nouns. But we notice that they include some and any. Some and any are used with both the countable and uncountable nouns. Few, many, a few are
But
used
countable,
with countable,
plural noun.
plural
Yes.
nouns. Much, a little are used with uncountable nouns. Okay? So, and you gave the example, thank you, like we saw some lions at the zoo. Some people attended the party. Okay, right?
Yes.
Would you like to complete?
Yes. Any is used in negative and interrogative sentences. Do you have any children? Or I didn't see any mobile phones here.
Very nice. Thank you very much. You
Now,
have, yes.
we will move to talk about many and a few. They are used only with plural countable nouns. For example, I have only a few coins in my pocket. A few people are unemployed. We use a few when we have a small number of something.
Excellent. Thank you. So many and few, they are only used with plural countable nouns.
Yes.
I have only few coins in my pocket. Few people are unemployed. Yes, please.
Now, much and a little, they are used only with uncountable nouns.
Yes.
For example, John doesn't have much milk. As you said with liquids, all liquids are uncountable nouns. Eating too much sugar is unhealthy.
Right. So you notice that, as you say, thank you very much, the word milk or the noun milk is uncountable noun.
Yes.
So we use much with it. Well, the sugar also is uncountable. We use much. And to talk about quantity, well, we say, John doesn't have much milk. He doesn't have much milk. Well, eating too much sugar. Now we notice the quantity here, okay?
Yes.
Too much. It means many, too much.
Too much, yes.
Too much sugar is unhealthy.
We have a large quantity of it.
A large quantity, excellent. Thank you.
Let's talk about a little. There is a little water in the glass, or a little tea was spilled. Much, a little is used when we have a small amount of something.
Yes, a little is used when we talk about small amount of something. There is a little water in the glass. Little tea was spilled. Thank you very much. Well, we have talked about them. So after explaining the determiners and talking about them, talking about the different types of them, let's do exercise and put or choose. We have to choose the right determiner in each sentence, okay, to make it a meaningful sentence. Would you please start?
Yes. Does anyone know answer a little, a, the, or many? Of course, does anyone know the answer?
Excellent, thank you. Does anyone know the answer? Yes, please.
Okay, the second one. I haven't got pictures in bedroom, in and bedroom, my, those, or a little. Of course, in my bedroom. We can't use an because bedroom starts with a consonant. We can't use those because those is used with plural. And we can't use a little because a little is used with uncountable.
Of course, thank you very much. So I haven't got pictures in my bedroom. That's right, thank you. Next.
Yes. I have told you to pay attention times before. Any, my, the, and many. Of course, the answer is many. I have told you to pay attention many times before. Here we have times, it's a plural noun, so we have to put many before it.
Excellent. So we can't use any because we don't have a negative sentence. My isn't suitable here, and here we have plural. We use with it many.
Yes.
Well, I have told you to pay attention many times before. Thank you. Next, please.
The fourth one, I have only coins in my wallet, a little, a few, a or many. Of course, I have only a few coins in my wallet.
Thank you very much. You are
Okay,
right.
the next
Next,
one.
please.
Yes, there aren't students in the library. Of course, the correct answer is any, because here we have negative sentence, so we use any with negative.
You are right. Thank you. Next.
Okay, there is milk left in the fridge, a little, a few, these or many. There is a little milk left in the fridge.
You are right. Thank you. Next, please.
The next one, a little or many or the people drive cars nowadays. Of course, the correct answer is many, because here people here is plural noun,
Plural
so we
noun.
have to put many before it.
Excellent. So many people drive cars nowadays. Excellent. We can't say a little. No. The people, a is with singular. Many people drive cars nowadays. Thank you. Next.
Sammy likes to eat food before he sits down to study. Those, a few, a or some. Of course, he likes to eat some food before he sits down to study.
Thank you. You are correct. Here, Sammy likes to eat some food before he sits down to study. Yes, please.
The next one, children will hurt themselves if they don't get off that tree. Of course, the correct answer is those, because any here we don't have negative sentence or question, and that we use it with singular noun, and a we use it also with singular noun, so we cannot use only those, because here we have plural noun.
Yes, and those children will hurt themselves
Yes.
if they don't get off that tree. So we have that tree far from us.
Yes,
okay?
far from us
That's
also.
a tree that children will hurt themselves. Those. That's right. Thank you very much. Well,
The doctor advised me to eat apple every morning. Any, these, and or some. Of course, we have the noun apple, which is singular, and it starts with a vowel sound, so we have to use an.
Thank
It
you.
becomes an apple.
An apple, because we have a singular noun which starts with a vowel sound A, so we use an apple. The doctor advised me to eat an apple every morning. Let's complete. Yes, please.
The next one, she got her license without problems. Here the correct answer is any, because without here it works as a negative.
Yes,
so
right.
we have to choose any. She got her license without any problems.
Without any problem. Thank you. Next, please.
I'd like to ask a little, a few, any, or a questions. Questions is a plural noun, and we have to use a few questions.
A few questions. I'd like to ask a few questions.
Of course, we can't use here any because it's an affirmative sentence.
Right. It's an affirmative sentence, and we can use a little because here the word question is countable, and the word little is used, or this determinant is used with the uncountable. We can't use a because the word question is plural, and a is used with singular. So we are helping our students to choose. They have to think. They have to think carefully about the words and the choices. Then they will find the answer easily. Yes, please. Next.
The next one, she doesn't have friends. A, this, the, and many. Here the correct answer is many.
Of course.
Because we don't have any to
Yes.
use it with negative. So we cannot say only many, because here we have plural nouns, and we cannot use the, this, or a, so we have to choose many.
Many. Well, it's a big problem if she doesn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
It means psychological defects,
Yes.
right? So she doesn't have many friends. It means it's okay, but any
Yes.
we can't use
It's a
it.
problem, yes.
We avoid it. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, please.
There are birds on the tree. Any, a little, a lot, or some. Of course, we have to use some. There are some birds on the tree.
Yes, right. There are some birds on the tree. Excellent. Thank you very much. You use the right choice. Yes, please. Next.
The next one, an, a, the, and many. Here we have sun rises in the east. We have to choose the sun rises in the east.
Yes, the sun, because we have a definite noun. The sun, we know.
Yes.
It's one
There's
of the kind.
Yes, right. You are correct. Thank you very much. The sun rises in the east. Now, you know that, dear, we need, if you have time, to talk about the activity book, and we have to talk about the ecological cities. Now, to think about life in the future, to talk about life in the future, right? So ecological cities talk about life in the future, and we are still talking about transport and tourism. Some people may talk about future. They imagine living in cities on the moon or on Mars or something like this. There are some vocabs in this. Let's talk about them in order to give clear idea. If you have time, we would read the text and do it. But we don't have time, so let's talk about the vocabs and do some exercise. Yes, please?
Yes.
Yes.
The first word is ecological, which means related to the environment.
Yes, ecological, it means related to the environment. So when this text talks about ecological cities, it means cities which relate to environment. Thank you. Next, please.
Assume, it's to think that something is true.
So the word assume, it means that to think that something is true. Right? Thank you.
Yes.
Progress means the process of getting better at doing something.
Excellent. Thank you. So progress is the process of getting better at doing something. You are right. Thank you. Next.
Dynamic, it's continuously moving or changing.
Continuously moving or changing, right? Yes, please.
The next one is sustainability. It means the ability of continuing without causing damage.
Sustainability, the ability of continuing without using damage. Thank you. Next.
Prioritize, it means to treat something as being more important than other things.
Excellent. Prioritize, to treat something as being more important than other things. Yes, please.
The next one is degradation, which means the process by which something changes to a worse condition.
Yes, Thank you. The process by which something changed into to a worse condition. You are right. Yes, please.
Now, irrigate, it's to supply land or crops with water.
Supply, irrigate. When we irrigate, and the picture is very clear. You look here, we have a kind of irrigation to supply land or crops with water. Yes, please.
Renewal means when an activity or process begins again.
Yes. So let's do an exercise in order to make the text very clear. We have to choose between, we have 4 choices, we have to choose between them, and to complete the sentence, to have a meaningful sentence. Yes, do it please.
In the future, most things will stay the same, won't stay as they are, won't change, or will stay as they are. Of course, in the future, most things won't stay as they are.
They won't stay as they are.
Because we
of
are
course.
expressing technological progress every month nowadays.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Next.
The world is facing changes, no changes, great and sudden. The expansion of deserts or little. Of course, the world is facing great and sudden changes.
Excellent. Thank you. The world is facing great and sudden changes, please.
We think that modern technology or environmental degradation, the dry land, will help us to solve society's recent problems. Of course, modern technology will help us to solve society's recent problems.
Excellent. Thank you. Next.
That is not a form of alternative energy. Solar power, wind power, oil or water power. Of course, the oil is not a form of alternative energy.
Excellent, thank you. So oil is not a form of alternative energy. And what are they, you say? What are the alternative energy?
Solar power.
Yes, the solar, the water power, the wind power, the solar power,
Yes,
and oil is not
alternative.
part of them. So when we think about ecology, we think about alternative energy. Well, dear colleagues, thank you very much. I hope that we gave our student very good advice, okay? And we clarified things. We discussed the text, the reading, the speaking, and the writing. I hope that they get good information from us. Dear students and dear colleagues and everyone who is following, thank you very much for joining us in this session. Hope I wish you good luck all the time, and thank you and goodbye.